Hey healthy people, how you guys doing? Happy June 10th, 2018. I'm making this video because I'm trying not to say I am making this video because I've been mentioning it for some time in the closed Facebook group. I do like to ramble, so I'm trying to stay on track. So I created a little list for myself to keep me organized. It's a two-part video. I've been saying for a while that I wanted to talk about why I believe in the power of journaling and why journaling is important to me and the journals that I have available. Then the other part of that was some people didn't know that I journal, and some people didn't know I had workbooks, which I found kind of funny because I said, well, I've been journaling every day in my group since January 1. But if you're not in the group, then you wouldn't know that. The reason why I put the recorded, so I do not own the rights to this song. It's a little loud. I'm going to turn it down. It's Sunday, as you can see. I'm about to lounge. I just came in from an event that Adrienne and Danielle hosted. It was an amazing event, a wonderful time to get to know other women in the community, to network, to have a sisterhood and socialize and things of that nature. So that was great. After I get cleaned up, because I don't like ever getting in my bed dirty, I'm gonna get in bed and hang out because it's Sunday, right? So that's what I'm gonna do. But see how I lost my train of thought. I say all of that to say this. When I record in the closed Facebook group and I journal each day, that's what that particular platform is for. Habits and Lifestyles, the business page, I felt that it wasn't the proper, because y'all know sometime when I'm journaling, I'm just waking up, I'm in my pajamas, or I'm getting ready to go to the gym, so I'm in my sports bra, and I didn't feel like the business page needed that. I felt that that was something to have in the closed Facebook group. I had to be as authentic as possible. When I wake up, it's one of the first things that I do, and so I didn't want to try to get dressed up and make all these videos. I just make them as I am. And it's my hope that I'm encouraging people to journal with me, or to at least think about the self-reflective questions that I post either the night before or that morning or sometime throughout that day. I try to be consistent with the night before, but sometimes I forget or I get busy. So let's go through. The reason why I brought up the event, I'm not even using my notes. This is how I do things. So yes, my hair is different, as you guys can see. Trying something new for summer. I went to the event, which I just discussed, and the reason why I decided to do this video now is because I ran into someone that I met at another event, and we became Facebook friends, and we interact, on Facebook. You have Facebook friends. And I think I mentioned it, she had no idea that I was doing the journaling, so that's why I was like, oh, I need to make this video, because some people didn't know that. So now we're going to go through the books themselves. So let's start with the two newer ones. This is the journal, the Bullet Journal. And I created, and then this is what it looks like. And on the back, it's black, and it says Habits and Lifestyles at the bottom. And I created this one because I know some people like bullet journaling. Bullet journaling is really simple to regular or line journaling. However, you can be more creative, more artsy, do the calligraphy if that's what you like to do. And I'm assuming the bullets help you do that. I personally am not an artist, so I don't know how much use I'm going to get from this book, but I know someone will. I'll probably let my daughter use this one. This one is available on Amazon. And then the notes one is simply a writing journal. Very similar, very simple. They're both small enough to fit in your purse, and it says Habits and Lifestyles on the back as well. They're both small enough to fit in your purse. And the reason why I really created this one was because I like to journal. Like, I like to just free journal. I don't always want someone to tell me what to journal or anything of that nature. And so I just needed lines. Plus, I like to take notes. So this is the journal that when I'm not journaling with you all and I'm just journaling, this is my journal. See, I journal in this one constantly. And I just free journal. The other part of that, as I stated, was taking notes. That's something that's big for me because I always have to take notes, simply because if I don't, I will not remember, or chances are I'm not paying attention. So it keeps me focused, and to create my to-do list on there. Not to say that the other journals will not allow you to do the same thing. So the Plan and Prepare, which was my very first event last year, May 6th, in 2017, an epic event, had a great time. This journal, essentially, it's been revamped since then, but it essentially goes with that particular workshop. But you do not have to attend the workshop to use the journal. So the cool thing about this journal, same thing, all of it has information, how to use, if I'm not, available, or you're unsure, there's a how to use page in here. Here's some self-reflective questions at the beginning. And then this one is more to plan and prepare for whatever it is that you want to do? Are you trying to start a business? Are you going back to school? Do you just have a hectic life and you got to get everybody together? You know, you're the primary person in the house that takes care of the schedule. This is what this is for. What's your top 3 things that you have to do this week? Go to a graduation, register for someone for school, and I don't know, do something else. And then here's like the days of the week on here. And then the next page has that self-reflection question to get you started on journaling. But after that, you're on your own. You get to free journal. You know what I mean? If you're journaling with us, the question will always be available for you. If you're journaling on your own, you just journal whatever comes to mind. So I like this one. I guess like productivity 101 would say stick to 3 things. 3 things you're gonna do throughout the week, and then like 3 things you're gonna tackle that day. A secret, this is on my list, so I'm not rambling. One of the secrets to creating to-do lists is obviously create them. And then if for some reason, because in the real world, we don't get everything done as we plan, you cannot accomplish everything on your to-do list. Obviously, you move it to the next day, but you also put the things on your to-do list that you did accomplish. So let's just say I had a to-do list. I'm going to wake up, I'm going to go to the gym, go to the grocery store, and clean up, right? But let's just say in between the grocery store and cleaning up, I get a phone call. I have to go to my daughter's school or one of my children's schools, and then I have to go get them some x-rays so that they can, a physical so that they can play sports because I forgot to do it and they want to play in a game today. So then on my to-do list, I might not make it to cleaning up that day. I'll put that on the next day, but I'll put picked up kid, took him to the doctors, got a physical, and I'll check that off. So then that way I feel good about myself. I know that I was being productive and I wasn't just messing around, but I also know how I spent my day. I'm keeping track of that. So that's a little secret to what you do when you create a to-do list. And then the other book is, trying to stay on track here. The other book here is Habits and Lifestyles, Create Healthier Habits. I'm a fan of creating anything, the life you want, the environment you want, whatever it is that you want. I know that we have a certain amount of power to do that. I really believe that wholeheartedly. And I am a person that believes in God. So I know some people will say we have no control over our lives. I believe that we have powers to create things. It is like kind of sketchy. I'm not gonna get into that right now because it is kind of an illusion, like what we have control over, but we have control over ourselves, right? We know that. So that part, but we're not gonna get into that. But anyways, despite the myth that it takes 21 days to take to create a habit, it actually takes about 66 days on average. So this journal is a 60-day workbook and it walks you through everything. So by the time you end this workbook, if you are doing everything consecutively, consistently, and being dedicated, whatever the new healthier habit is that you decided to create for yourself, it should feel more like a habit. And that's why I am grateful that I embarked on this journey to journal each day. In January, when I, like a little bit before January, when I started praying about what should I do, it came to me that I was going to have to step out of my comfort zone. And anyone who knows me knows that I'm shy. So that was really uncomfortable for me. I didn't want to be on camera each day. You know, I'm more of a background type person, like, hey, let's start this event and let's do this, this, and this. But then I don't want to be in the forefront. I don't want any acknowledgement or any credit for it or whatever. So I did it, and I'm really grateful that I've been journaling every day since January 1, because now we're the 6th month and 10th day, and it just changed so many things for me in my life, my health. I've been consistent because, I mean, if I'm up and I'm journaling, I might as well do everything else I said I was going to do. So just being consistent in this one area in my life has caused consistency in other areas of my life, which leads me to balance, which is a whole nother video, because last year was completely off balance in my life and it showed, but now I have more balance and it shows as well. So anyway, so this particular book, same as the Plan and Prepare, you still get, I didn't show you it in the Plan and Prepare, but you still get your coloring pages at the end of the 7th day, your coloring pages, you still have space to journal and take notes. But one of the different things about the creating the Healthier Habits journal is you get your schedule, you get all those things. Each day at the bottom, right down here, you can't see it, but I'll tell you what it says. It pretty much says, track your healthier habits. So then you write down what you wanted to do. Remember January 1, I wanted to start lifting weights because I've never in my entire life been consistent at lifting weights because it's slow and it's boring. I like it now, but at the time I was like, oh my God, this is so slow. It's so boring. I'd rather just do cardio, but I actually lift weights more than I do anything else now because I enjoy it. And you can see progress and you see yourself get stronger and reshape your body. It really becomes kind of neat, you know. It becomes a habit. I know it sounds so like corny, but really became a habit. So then I say, did you do it? Yes or no. My other goal that I have for myself at the beginning of the year was to drink a gallon of water. And I'll write, drink water, drink a gallon of water, be more specific. And then I answer the question, yes or no. No. I circle Y for yes or N for no. Did I do it? And then the other part of that is, and this is why I'm always such a fan of being honest with yourself and knowing who you are, is measure it. So this is when you're going through this process of creating a habit, you need to measure like your effort, because you know how, like, as an educator, if I have a student who turns in work and I can see that they didn't put a lot of effort into it, I'm gonna be like, you need to redo this. As a parent, when you grade your kids' homework, you're like, you need to redo this yourself. You know, when you go into work and you just like, you in beast mode and you knocking stuff out, or you go into work and you're on Facebook. So what was the effort that you actually put into that? In the beginning, there were some days where I was just like, oh my God, it hurts. I only want to do 2 reps. You know what I mean? And I would only do 2 reps. And there was other days where I'm like, the only way you're gonna get stronger is if you do this extra reps. So now you've done 13, or now you've done 16 versus 15 versus 12, you know, whatever my little rep count was for that particular day. And so I had to measure myself on a scale of 1 to 10. And so that really helped me stay focused, and it really kept me on track. And so I believe in these books wholeheartedly. I believe in journaling because I've been journaling for a long time now. Quick story, I'm trying to keep this as short as possible. My best friend, she gave me a journal probably in 2008, 2009, right after I got a divorce. And I journaled in it. I still have it. I have someone out there in my life that knows to come in my house and burn my journals if something ever happens to me. But I used to journal in that, and I look back over that journal and talking about a humble heart, talking about all the growth. And it's not just what people see growth, it's the internal growth, because those journals were so black, they were so depressed, they were so miserable. And that's just where I was at that time. So I don't really like to read that stuff because it makes me sad, but I do like to see that progress has happened. And so now when I journal in my free journal, it's more so focusing on the things that I want versus what's hurting me. So let's just say I'm sad because I don't know, because I don't want y'all to know my business. But let's just say I'm sad for something. I'm going to journal about the exact opposite, because that's what I'm focusing on. That's what I want to happen. That's what I'm creating, and that's what I'm manifesting. So I'm going to give the highlights of this video, in the notes, simply because no one's probably going to watch a 12-minute video. But if you do, I hope you enjoy. I hope you guys see why I love journaling. I kind of gave you a little bit of a background on why I believe in being healthier and creating positive and good habits that'll get you from point A to point B, because my life used to really suck, especially after my divorce. So, and that's a whole nother video, a whole nother story. But if you come to my free workshop on July 7th at Burton Bar Library, I think it's from 2 to 4, you'll get more of that story about me. It's open to men and women. So I do hope you guys come out and enjoy and learn more about habits, the anatomy of a habit, healthier versus less healthy. It's some good stuff in there. There's so many types of habits I'm sure you guys don't even know about, but we'll talk about that. All right. Wishing y'all healthier and happier habits. Have a good day.